Boys! Welcome back, Draft Boys.
Hello.
Welcome back to the FPL Draft podcast. As always, we're here joined by Miles, Heato, and myself, Whitey. Lads, how we doing?
We're doing good.
How we do?
I really like that intro.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was pumped for that.
That was good. I mean, I'll admit, we practiced it. It didn't go that well.
Yeah, no, not as good as that.
The real deal, we just showed up.
When we're on stage, we show up.
Yeah, exactly.
We're ready for match day. We perform.
Yeah, just like Brighton did.
Oh, God,
yeah.
yes. All right.
Or maybe like Liverpool didn't. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, VI had something to do with it, but,
Yeah.
we'll get into that.
Yeah. God.
So we're back again here, boys. We like to talk about the draft format here. We hate the fucking budget format. I don't know if people know that.
I think
way,
they draft
do.
all the way. Man.
We haven't said it in a while.
7 years.
Sometimes we have to
8 years
remind
in.
them.
Yeah. You know what? We're here to give you some tips. Pro tips, really.
Yeah.
How long does it take to become a professional or something?
Maybe about 8 years.
Oh, we're nearly there.
So
Yeah.
we're only just new pros.
Yeah.
So we're semi-pros.
Yeah, we just made it.
Just made
Oh, fresh out
Wow.
the gate. Well, you're welcome,
it.
everyone.
We put some hard yards in for this.
All right, boys. Snack chat.
Let's do it.
Heato, you're on Snack Chat this week.
I am.
Now, Snack Chat's a game we play. We bring a snack, a drink, and a delicious morsel for us to rate and berate each week. Heato, what have you got for us this week?
So this week, guys, I'm upping our class a little bit on Draft Boys. We can drink with pinkies in the air.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I drink with my pinky in the air regardless. Doesn't matter what.
You'll feel right at home today then.
Terrific.
With a nice cheese board.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What's on there?
We have a nice little selection.
Okay. I'm seeing a brie, a
Cheddar?
So you have
I
a
think
creamy brie, cream cheese, and edam. Whatever the hell that is.
it's Edam.
It's a dumb,
sorry.
darling.
Yeah.
Sorry, darlings. I got that wrong.
It's all good.
It's all right, man.
Just like my
And
pronunciation.
obviously biscuits to go with. And then
Yeah.
to join us, I've got a nice bottle of Pinot Grigio.
Oh my
white wine.
goodness.
You know, it's got some fancy floral design on the label.
This
so-
is fancy for a Tuesday night. This is.
Right up my alley.
I feel very spoiled. I'm going to dig straight into some cheese here.
Yeah, do it.
I think I'm just. How do we rate? Do we rate the overall? Do we have to taste all three cheeses? Because we're going to have to work hard here.
Yeah, work through all three real quick.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
give me like an overall.
So, Heato, can you tell us about the wine?
Yes,
Where's
I
it
can.
from?
I can tell you it was really hard to get open.
I saw you struggling
It's
over there.
from Australia. It's called Tread Softly, the brand.
Ooh,
2020
good
bottle.
name.
Where's it from? It's vegan friendly.
Thank
That
God.
helps.
Thank
Sustainably
God.
grown.
Oh, that bree's good.
It is really good.
It is creamy.
It's light, fluffy,
As
creamy,
prescribed.
delicious.
Okay.
I can't tell you where it was.
We'll have a look
actually
at this
made, but I'll
Edam.
buy you one.
Yeah. I don't want to have too much dead air, so I just want to let the viewers know that these Jats equivalents are very, very Moorish.
Very Moorish. I think they
It's a
call
bit of
it
a softer.
Are they Ritz?
Yeah, they're a bit of a softer
The knockoff?
biscuit.
Soft biscuit. Okay,
I
mate.
think they're like Aldi or something.
Now, I'm going to try the cream cheese here. Not a big fan of cream cheese, so it will
Yeah,
affect
me
the
neither. I'm
rating.
hoping the other two.
Nah, it's
stand up
it's
for it.
definitely going to affect your rating. It's a no for me on the cream cheese.
Okay.
Not as bad as I thought it might be.
This is really tough. I'm trying to get through it all. Just
This
so
is what I'm
there's
going to
no-
do. I'm going to rate all three cheeses
I think
individually, out the score, get an average. Okay. Brie. As far as Breeze goes, pretty good. I give it a 7.8. Mm-hmm. The Edam, could use more bite for me. 6.7. Someone better be writing this down.
Yeah, I got you.
And the cream cheese, I give a 5.
Okay. I'm actually just going to give an overall rating of 7.5. Good effort.
Okay.
I love a cheese board. I do love a white wine, so I will try the white wine right now. And it looks good, actually. It's quite alcoholic. You can tell by the...
The licks.
Yep.
It's a nice, light, easy drinkable.
It is.
white.
I will say I've had one sip, and then I took another sip, and then I took another sip. and that means it's very light and easy and drinkable. Just as Heato prescribed.
That's what you
Yeah.
want because everything's coming from the cheeses, boys. We don't want to overwhelm our palates.
The palate.
Well, you've done well there. Look, I'm not a white drinker, so I'm going to keep that filter on, but I did like it. So I'm going to say for me, as far as a white wine goes, that's a 7.5. Now, that's about as high a rating as I give a white.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So I think for me, my average on the cheeses was roughly 6.9. And we'll give the wine, what did I say?
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Miles to you, and we'll move on.
Yeah. Look, the white, just A for effort for mixing it up, and I'll just give you an 8.2.
Oh, I'll take
Yeah.
that, lads. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's decent.
You're welcome.
I'll celebrate with a bit of cheese on biscuit then.
Yeah.
All right, enough of cheese chat. Let's talk about our first fixture for this week. Aston Villa versus Newcastle.
Yeah.
Miles, you took in a deep breath there.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to talk about this.
Just when we get to Newcastle, I did a little bit of a doozy. I left Wilson on my bench, so
What?
we can talk about that.
I'm ready to give you some shit, so
Yeah, let's talk about Villa first, and then we'll get into my my blunder. But it goes into selection of the team and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that strategy.
So, yeah, the first goal was pretty poor defending.
Yeah, so we're talking about West Ham versus Villa here, where West Ham beat Villa 2-0. 2-1, sorry.
2-1.
fresh this morning for us.
Very
Just
fresh. Happened just mere moments ago.
Moments ago.
Yeah.
The highlights were barely up. I watched the game live, naturally.
Early goal. It was like about a minute and a half into the game or something.
Yeah, it was. Ogbonna, I think, got him.
Yeah.
They left him so unmarked.
They did.
He just had free reign to come charging in, very commanding.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
It was quite Zoomer-esque.
I was literally about to say that. It had Zuma vibes
Yeah.
for sure.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
But
Well,
yeah.
the second goal in this... Oh, was it the second goal? Grealish's goal. Regardless, whenever it was. Oh, my God.
Really good.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
And that's just
Nice
where
work.
he's been so clutch. I think he's scored a couple of goals like that already this season.
He's on fire. He's where we expected him to be, maybe end of last season, but like he's really hitting his stride.
Yeah, he's killing it. And even when I think there was another chance where he dribbled around right in the 90-something minute, dribbled around like two guys on the edge of the box coming in from wide.
Yeah.
Got a shot off and it's just like he's so skillful right up to the end of the game. Like he's clutch.
I will say he's very skillful, but Hazard would have scored it. He does that.
Yeah, Hazard 6 years ago maybe?
Nah,
Not now.
come on,
He doesn't
mate.
play enough games these days to score a goal.
That's
Yeah.
just fucking rude.
Well, that's what you get though when you want to leave the Prem.
Yeah. And what did you guys reckon about Watkins' missed pen? Because I thought it was a good pen. I know he hit the bar and stuff, but I thought, he just tried to do a Vardy and just drill it in the top corner. And sometimes you're going to miss.
Did you say it was a good pen?
Well, it's not a good pen. It was a good attempt.
It could have been worse. He
Yeah.
could have missed that
Yeah,
goal
I mean,
completely or scuffed it.
As far as missing a pen go, that's as much as you want to miss the pen. But
Yeah.
still,
You go in
he
the top
would
corner
not
and you
be
hit
happy.
the bar.
He
Yeah.
would not be happy.
And
And neither would the owners of Watkins.
I don't know. I feel like we're seeing a fair few missed pens this season.
There
It's
has
kind of
been.
quite-
Well, maybe it's just because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
We're not used to seeing this many pens,
That's
so that you're likely to see more missed pens. Now, some teams like to do that more than others. Not mentioning names, Fulham.
And that's another thing about Grealish is I think Grealish owners would be really happy with Watkins missing that pen because I feel like they might just go back to Grealish.
potentially. I think it's definitely got that shout. But it just depends how nailed on he is to. It's not like he completely scuffed it and blew his chance. So we'll see. We'll see moving forward if he stays on pens.
Just before we move on to Newcastle, one quick question about where you guys rate Grealish in terms of his rank. I guess I'd say now we don't necessarily always talk about his draft rank because we think that system is a little flawed. But just looking at players with similar total scores at the moment,
Yeah.
who do you value about the same as him right now?
Grealish is really up in my top 5 mids.
Well,
Wow.
he's 6 on the overall total
In points?
tally. Yeah, in points.
Yeah, and he's 4th in overall mids.
Who's around him?
In mids, I've got the only people that are above him is Salah, Fernandez, and Son.
Fuck.
And he's got DCL and Wilson either side of him.
Who's just below him in terms of midfielders?
Ward-Prowse and Zaha.
On what, like 15 less points?
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot. Yeah.
Wow. And I guess normally you'd value Zaha pretty highly, and he's had a pretty good start to the season bar coronavirus. But I'd say Grealish at the moment is higher than Zaha for sure.
Oh, yeah. He's skyrocketing.
And he's blasted past him in these last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And even being in a team that has probably more goals in them than Palace, I think Grealish just gets the edge over Zaha.
Because last season, Grealish was the Zaha, like the only person that would probably do something. Whereas now he's got more options for assists.
That's
more
it.
options to,
Yeah. And Watkins has, obviously come in and changed that a lot. But then, Barkley's come in. I know he's not in at the moment, but and McGinn. So, yeah, I think Grealish is probably someone that I would be really trying to trade for at the moment.
Or would you trade him now for someone new?
as high.
Yeah, that's not performing maybe as well. Say a Sterling or...
A Walcott. Sorry.
Whoa.
You going to propose a trade to me this week? Then,
Sorry.
mate?
Yeah, shit.
I was thinking about Rashford.
Oh,
I've just
yeah.
got a bit of cheesy,
Yeah.
Cheese brain.
cheese brain.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Swiss cheese.
Swiss. All right. Now, let's talk about Newcastle. Newcastle played Crystal Palace this week.
Yeah.
Now, they won 2-0.
Newcastle, they're the team that I think these two teams are perfect and sit under this kind of description of both being you don't know what you're going to get.
You don't do.
They'll
you?
win one week, they'll lose the next week, they'll win the next.
Yeah,
They'll win
really
games they
hard to
shouldn't.
pick.
It's so hard to pick with these two teams, and the fact that Newcastle came away with a clean sheet, I guess it's not surprising.
They've been without Wilson for a couple of weeks, and I think that was noticed. And now Crystal Palace is without Zaha. It's talking about teams relying on certain players. Newcastle, I feel, is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
They really do rely on Wilson. And
We're talking buddy like 87 minutes or something this week to realise he was there.
But still, he's getting the goals.
And that's the thing that hurt me. So this game actually was played on Saturday morning our time, and I woke up in the morning, had a quick look at fantasy, saw it was on still, and I tuned on and it was 0-0, and I just thought, this is going to really hurt. I'm going to see my boy score.
Yeah.
And not only did he score, he assisted, gets the 3 bonus, and I'm like, fuck, my weekend is ruined.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have benched Wilson.
Yeah, but like getting back to that, just a bit of strategy behind my decision. So he's just come back from injury. I didn't know if he would start, so he could come on for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, and I'm just wasting a player on that. And because I picked up Van Arnholt the week before, and I kind of backed Crystal Palace at home to keep a clean sheet against Newcastle, I just went with team selection, and that's why I put him
player,
on the bench.
yeah.
And I did put him as first reserve, just in case. And obviously all of my players played, and his 13 points is sitting on my bench. Just
Where they belong, motherfucker.
Brutal.
yeah.
Sorry, mate, it was only 12 points, so
I was at 12.
it's not as bad.
Well, it's just brutal because if I have those 12 points, I think I'm in first in our league, but don't worry.
But that's another strategy as well of sometimes you play the fixtures, sometimes you have to just play the quality of the player.
Yep.
Like
that's
no matter who they're versing, they're probably
I'd agree with that. Now, one last thing I'll mention about Newcastle before we talk about top point scorers. Darlow just putting in the work still.
Yeah.
I'd say a bit of a man of the match performance there.
100%.
Has anyone got the stats on how many saves he got in that game?
Yeah, I'll just grab him for you now.
Thank you. But yeah, he was just on fire.
Yeah, and we've said that throughout the season. He's pulling them in and out, and it's reflected in his points this week for sure.
He has got
Oh,
the
look.
most action.
It was only 3 saves this week, but still.
There were like 3 really good saves too. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like
He locked
coming
away
in.
a bonus point there. So he's actually looking like quite a good keeper, even though they're not getting a lot of clean sheets.
Yeah, 100%. And final thing, you just want to have a little lulls at Jolinton, who needed a deflection to help him finally score a goal.
Yeah.
For his every shot pretty much going at the keeper or nowhere near.
Shout out to Joe
Space.
Linton. Love a haircut on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Filthy. All right, top point scorers. Basically, for Aston Villa, it was really Grealish that got the points there. He got 10 points, 3 bonus points, no surprise. Wilson, as we know, got quite a few points, 12 and 3 bonus points, all on Miles's bench. Joe Linton with 11 and 2 bonus points, which seems generous. And Darlow with 8 and 1 bonus point. Darlow, I just looked up, is the third highest goalkeeper at the moment. So it kind of shows that if a keeper is actually any good and they're playing for a shit team, like just the amount of saves they make can actually get them into the top.
Yeah, then the
goalkeeper
occasional clean sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, really changes it for sure.
I think he also might have saved a penalty earlier in the season. I'll have to get my stats people on that later, but
My stats.
We'll get up behind the
Heato,
scenes.
yeah, Heato
People.
furiously starts typing. Why is Heato not talking? So anyway, now for me in this fixture, I think Villa's going to take it. I think really ones to watch are Grealish, but we all know that. Watkins could be in the action again. Anyone else to stand out for you outside of the norm? Hurahan?
Yeah, I thought he had a few decent free kick chances for Villa. Just keep like one eye on him just to see how many more
One eye.
chances he gets.
And use the other eye on Trezeguet, maybe.
yeah, and I also like Target. I think Target could actually get some points this game.
Yeah.
Are you looking for anyone from Newcastle?
I mean, I'm going to play Wilson, aren't I?
I thought so.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up. Prediction. Heato, you start us off. I've chosen you.
Okay. Oh, we've locked eyes and I'm in the zone.
You are the chosen one.
I'm gonna go Aston Villa 2, Newcastle 2.
Oh, that's goals.
What the hell?
Yeah, I think they've. They both looked a bit. Well, Villa looked a little bit shaky, but they got goals in them. Newcastle with Wilson back. I back 'em.
You don't sound very excited about it, though.
Oh, I'm excited for Villa side. Grealish and Watkins potential points and goals there, but I don't know. Don't expect clean sheets out of Newcastle, so I'm a little bit thrown off this week. I think.
It'll
Yeah,
be interesting.
Me neither. All right, next game, Burnley play Everton. Now, I think we all know what happened to Burnley this week.
Are they still our favourite team after last week?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Ben Mee relies on Pope.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And when the two aren't together, this kind of shit's going to
It's
happen.
the holy trifecta of Tarkowski, me, and Pope.
Exactly.
The Trinity.
You or me, or the guy Ben Mee or you?
Ben me, not me.
Because it
I'm
could be
not in
you.
it.
Because you used to play for fucking Burnley.
Yeah, well, I'm one of their subs.
Tom Heaton. Are you still one of their subs?
Yeah.
Because it could have been
I'm
me.
just having a little sabbatical at the moment, so my
It's
knees.
a bit of a who's on first situation here. Okay, so Burnley got fucking ripped. We all know that.
Yeah, they got
City
torn
are going to
apart.
do that to a team. I think they've done it twice in a row before this. 5-0 wins. Now, I need stats. Someone fucking look that up. It's not going to be me. I'm not the stats guy. I like to say outlandish shit that isn't backed
make
up
us work.
and hope that someone else backs it up quickly. My little keypad monkey over here, Miles, is working hard. But yeah, I think they've been beaten 5-0 a couple times by City.
I wouldn't be surprised. They definitely missed Pope. I think we just cursed them last week, lads. I think all our love for them just.
I
we
feel
said
bad.
something-
Look, it wasn't love for Burnley. It was just Ben Mee.
Well, Ben me, but then, obviously it channels into Burnley. We were supporting them a little bit. So I think we've just cursed them, unfortunately. But
Fuck.
maybe we should go for another team. Maybe I should curse Chelsea this week.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Burnley are playing Everton. Everton lost 1-0 to Leeds, which for me was a surprising result. I'm
was
not
a
sure
good
what we
game, though.
predicted last week. What do you guys know what we predicted for that game? I don't think that was it.
No, it definitely wasn't.
I think our prediction was like 2-3 to like either way.
It actually was. It was 3-2 to Everton.
Yeah.
And that was me.
We thought that
I could not be more wrong.
Even based off the game itself, you wouldn't have been surprised if it went that way because the amount of chances going each way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, have to shout out to my boy T-Rex Pickford to
What the fuck
Actually,
does T-Rex Pickford mean?
Because he's got little arms.
Oh, I saw like Trex in the notes. I'm like, Trex. What does Trex mean?
Yeah.
Now I know it means T-Rex. There
T-Rex.
should have been a dash there,
So it
probably
was a
somewhere.
rushed little-
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, T-Rex. Yeah, I get
Yeah, he
that.
kept him in the game with some good saves, actually.
Yeah,
So
I
props,
saw one terrific one with his
where props
foot.
are due.
Yeah, seriously, he did play well. They didn't really create much. I think maybe missing Diggy.
I think so, yeah. We see how much he contributes going forward, for sure.
Yeah.
And he's out for a while. He's out till like Jan, mid to
I
late
heard 2
Jan.
months.
Jan 30, yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's a huge blow for Everton. And they just haven't really picked up. They've just kind of had this decline, Everton. You know, ever since they got a bit too cocky about being in the top 4, just dropped a few points here and there.
30-second men, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't know where Pope's at, so the Burnley defense, if Pope's back and creates that holy trinity again, maybe they're going to struggle to break them down, considering they haven't had many goals in them of late. Are you feeling anyone for this game? Are you feeling the Burnley defense, or are you looking at Everton attack? What do you guys think?
I think Everton are going to actually make a bit of a move, and they could pump them 3-0.
3-0, okay.
Yeah.
I would back Everton defence just because Burnley have been so poor going forward, even if Everton struggled a bit against Leeds. And they've got the quality to get goals more likely than Burnley. But it depends. If Pope's back, it will definitely hinders that chance. But I'd be backing more likely than not a clean sheet for sure.
Well, Miles, I feel like you want to predict it. You've almost already predicted this result. Why don't you predict this one?
I'll just go with what I said.
3-0?
I'm kind of Malstradamus. When the thought comes up, it happens, as we saw last week.
Unfortunately.
Which we'll get to that prediction.
Look, you heard the silence. You can tell we're all mad.
Yeah.
What, you're mad that Liverpool drew?
No, but I'm mad that you were right about it. I can be mad about that. Because I'd rather they lose. Okay, so we'll move on now. Malstradamus has predicted a 3-0 result there to Everton. Now, Manchester City versus Fulham.
Yeah.
5 goals they scored against Burnley. And Fulham look actually quite good.
I know. Before this,
I was gonna say bad.
Before this result, I would have just said let's ×2 for Man City, 10-0. But I think they'll still pump them. But
Yeah,
Fulham showing a little bit
agree.
of fight this week, so
They did. But let's start with City.
Yeah, let's do that.
Miles.
Hat-trick hero.
where the
it's
fuck
his-
did that come from?
I know.
I know.
His first hat-trick in 5 years since he was playing Swansea when he was playing for
Fuck,
Leicester.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a good hat-trick, and it capped it off with a fine header, which he doesn't usually score many headed goals.
No, definitely not.
And he hasn't done anything since game week 2.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, game week 3.
Nothing.
He's done nothing since, and then out of nowhere, hat trick.
Yeah. And an interesting point I want to bring up is Mendy is back, and he did look good. So I'm not sure what happens with the whole Cancelo and Mendy.
Yeah.
You know,
It makes it a bit tricky for sure. I got
Definitely for
fucked. I
fantasy
got
players.
fucked this week, so I had Laporte and Cancelo, and neither played.
oh, beautiful.
So,
I love it.
whereas I thought guaranteed clean sheet here.
Yeah, at least from one of them.
Well, yeah, and he dropped him, and Pep had interesting words after saying that it was alluding more to it being just form, not him classic City rotation,
Okay,
being a bit more like you're not performing, so I'm dropping you.
that's they haven't really been that great.
Yeah, so that's interesting because you've normally been like, oh, they're a bit flippant. They'll come out. But if he's now taking that line, I'm like, oh, I'm a bit worried now about the likes of Cancelo. But we know Mendy, he'll probably get injured
Probably
this week or
He's
something.
a little bit made of glass, or
Yeah.
like a very soft plastic.
Maybe like ceramic or something, a little bit solid.
And no Sterling again this week.
Yeah.
This is really interesting to me, and I'm really wondering if any Sterling owners out there, especially in draft, like what are they going to do?
I know. I think it's. I've even thought about it myself, thinking, how do I approach it if I wanted to trade him? You know, at low, can I get him for? But then I'm like, do I want to?
Yeah,
Like he's been classically really solid as a fantasy player, Sterling.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
He is royalty, in a way.
You'd bank him to be up there, but he's really had a slow start for sure.
And I know
Disappointing.
I know
Yeah, I
he's
bet
not
you are.
like a Bernardo Silva, for example. But let's just talk about the comparison. Bernardo Silva, he came out, he had that cracking year,
Yeah.
and everyone backed him just to like carry on, and he barely got played the year after. And this is just a classic Pep maneuver where he just focuses so much on like certain players for a season, attacking players. So it could be the year where he's just building Sterling behind the scenes and he's not really going to worry too much. Maybe in Europe he's playing him.
Especially with Torres coming in and actually putting away chances and looking a bit threatening.
So
yeah, it definitely gives them variety, and why not play Ferran Torres when he's on a high?
if I was Sterling owner, and this isn't anything, at a Sterling owner in the room right now, Whitey, but I would really be considering making a trade for him because he's still got the name, and there's a lot of people, like even our league, that might want to jump on him. There's City fans. What is your thoughts with that?
Well, you'd have to sell low. Like, I don't think I'd get Grealish or someone, and I'd even be hesitant to go for Grealish because how long can Villa keep that up?
So if the Grealish owner came to you and said, "I'll trade you Grealish for Sterling," you wouldn't take it?
I'm not sure because I'd be hesitant to. Do you believe that Aston Villa are going to keep up this run? You don't think that the league will settle a little bit?
Look, in my opinion, it's about getting the best player in every team. Besides, obviously, a couple like West Brom and Fulham and stuff. I'm not really worried about them. But if I've got the best player in each team, I'm happy.
I'd agree with that for sure. But like we're talking about a very good player in Sterling.
But I
Someone
think
who came second in the points the last 2 years in a row.
But I think with even with like Grealish, for example, even if they dip a bit, he's the player he is. He's still going to get
He's
you
still gonna score.
a goal on his own. So
Okay, well, yeah, you guys made some good points here. I consider it.
look, to be honest, I've got Grealish. I wouldn't offer him to you. For
No
Sterling.
way. You'd be crazy.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect it. And I'm actually kind of happy you wouldn't because then I don't have to make the decision.
I'll tell you what. I'll make you a trade right now that you can think about. All right? Till the end of the podcast, I'll trade you Rashford for Sterling. And just let me know by 8 o'clock.
I'll let you know right now.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I thought that was an interesting trade.
Yeah.
We should do this more often. We should do like a live trade offers.
All right.
On the pod.
Come on.
I like it.
We're going to move on here. Now, for the rest of these, the goals here, obviously Torres banged one in. Mendy got a goal, which was quite a nice volleyed finish. It was quite a nice pass from Foden to complete that hat trick, but he's not getting the starts that I was hoping he'd get this season.
No, but at least still, when you question him, look what he did here this week. Came on, got an assist. It's not huge points, but
Yeah.
if he's
It's
down there
something.
in your mids, it's better than someone who just plays 2 points every week or...
I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that too.
Yeah.
Look, it's better than the rest of your team because there's just a lot of ones and then a double-digit haul from Fernandes and then an assist from Foden every week.
Oh, you're talking about my team.
Your team, yeah.
Isn't it great? Gotta love Fernandes.
Lots of ones.
Yeah, this week was horrible. All right, let's talk about Fulham quickly. They played quite well.
Best game of their season so far, I think.
100%.
Definitely. They caught out Leicester twice on the counter for both the goals, which is exactly what you'd expect.
Well,
Yeah.
Leicester have been a bit short in defence for a few weeks now, and we thought it would cripple them, but they've done all right. But the last few weeks, it's really started to show, getting humped by Liverpool 3-0, now to Fulham, which you would not have expected.
No, massive upset there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Two positives is that Castagna is nearly back. He's 75%, and then Pereira is back potentially in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. And they create a lot of attacking threat too. So
They're lacking.
I agree. So yeah,
Fulham
I expect
took
Leicester
advantage
to
of
look different in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe this won't keep going with those two guys coming back. But it was a nice one-on-one from Lookman. He finished quite well, and I think that's what we've been hoping that he'd do because he looks good,
He does look good.
but Anyway.
Is it just on the back of his shirt, or is it actually
Yeah,
with
exactly.
his football skills?
I know. Well, it was a
Hard to
nice
tell.
finish. And, so that was definitely a penalty for Reed as well for me. What did you guys think?
Agree.
Yeah. 100%.
And he finally scored one. They finally scored one.
Yeah, they've missed so many, haven't they?
Yeah.
Did you see Scotty P's celebration?
Oh, he
Scotty
loved
Parker
it.
was frothing.
I know. He's like, yes, bang him in.
I think it was like double celebration of like we've gone 2-0 up, and we've also finally scored a fucking pen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was the pen more than that.
Yeah,
He
probably.
was just like, oh my God, who am I going to put on pens next week after this guy misses?
Yeah, probably.
So let me run through the top point scorers here. Mahrez, he got 21 points, 3 bonus points. Huge haul there. Mendy with 14, 2 bonus points, clean sheet and a goal. Always huge for a defender. KDB got 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, happy with that, Marlo. Walker got 9. Ew. Take that back, bitch. Torres with 8 and the defender's clean sheet. You know what that means.
That's my because I didn't get clean sheet
Yeah.
points. So I'm like,
Okay.
celebrate some
Good farts down there, Heat.
Unlucky.
points.
Now for Fulham, we had Cavallero. He got 10 points, 3 bonus points. He was the one that put away the pen.
Yep.
Lookman with 9 points, 2 bonus points, looking good. And Anguissa, 7. I don't know if I said that right. Sounded right. 7 points, 2 bonus points.
We'll take it.
It's better than
We'll
what
take
I
it.
would have come
Now that was a bit dry. There was a lot of 2 bonus points, 1 point.
Well, that's what happens, man, when you win.
Now I think we for a change have an informed player to talk about for Fulham, or potentially one to watch. Lookman.
Yeah.
And
I want to see what he does against City. I mean, I can't pick him up against such a strong team like City, but after this game, I think he's got some okay fixtures.
I'm waiting for you to talk about the fixtures because I can see Liverpool looming afterwards.
Liverpool are like trash. They can't even beat Brighton.
Yeah, you're right.
So
No comment.
That just gave me a semi.
and then they have Brighton. But after that, it looks okay for them,
Yeah. Okay, well,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's my turn to
Newcastle-
predict.
Yeah.
Now,
Jump in, lad.
I don't think they're going to do 5. I think 4.
Yeah.
And I think Fulham will get a goal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Manchester City, 4. Fulham, 1.
Okay.
Interesting.
I know. Look,
It's always just like dead air after his
City-
predictions, isn't it?
well, because you guys are taking in huge breaths going, he's a genius. He's a fucking genius. We knew it.
City do like to flip their results, so for all we know, it'll be just like 1-0.
Yeah.
Oh,
KDB penalty. I reckon.
Sterling hat trick. West Ham versus Man United. Now West Ham they beat Aston Villa. It was a good performance from them.
It
Two
was-
teams that are looking in similar form for me.
I think they got a little bit lucky, but they still won the game.
Antonio back.
Antonio's back.
I like that. I like it.
Yeah, you've held him.
Yeah, I held on to him. I nearly dropped him 2 weeks ago because it said unknown return date. And then next week it was like 75%. I was like, oh, what? Thanks. Thanks for that.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Scary
shows you how
place to
much
be.
you can trust the fucking unknown return date thing. Just do some Googling and that'll help you. Which is what I did, and that's why I still have him.
Just go to the Sun or the Mirror. You can get your
Yeah,
info
of
from
course.
there.
Yeah.
I think the hard thing with West Ham, we'll see
Daily
if that
Mail.
changes with Antonio, but because they got their 2 goals, but there wasn't a lot going on outside of them.
No, and they were like both in the first couple of minutes of each
It was
half.
definitely
and-
more Villa. So that game, so it'll be interesting to see if they can ramp it up again like they were playing pre-Antonio getting injured. But I don't know. It's a hard one against Man U.
I read an article that Moisey has been working a lot on the pace of their passing and their counterattacks.
Okay.
So you can really see it because I feel like last year, even the year before, when he kind of came in towards the end, he literally just set up to defend, and, you know, bink a point or
very-
maybe get a counter. But
Yeah.
they didn't really have that counter strategy. And I think that they've really come a long way and they've got that going.
I'd agree with that. Like 5 at the back helps with that too. It gives you those wing backs, and they've got some decent ones there. Balbuena.
Bueno, yeah.
No, it's Kufal.
Oh, Kufal, sorry.
Masuaku.
Balbuena's on he plays like the centre back.
Yeah.
One of the centre backs. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah, they've definitely helped for sure.
Masuaku. I got those two confused.
Yeah.
And
Very similar names, obviously, Masuaku and Balbuena.
just to bring it back to like a fantasy and even fantasy draft, strategy, I think West Ham, it's really tricky to predict where the points are going to come from because they are kind of coming from everywhere. Like Fornals is in the mix 1 minute and then Bowen's in the mix. And then, when Antonio's there.
Just
like,
as we
he's the
shit-talked
man.
Bowen last week.
we were.
So
we said
like-
he's finally dropped off our watch list.
I fucking picked up Fornals and I picked him as my peasant.
Yeah.
And
I
look,
saw.
fucking Bowen scores. Oh,
Yeah, so I think there's goals. There's probably going to be goals from them most weeks besides when they play, say, a big four or whatever. But maybe just pick one and just leave them as your fourth or fifth mid and just don't rotate them. Just leave them in there.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, yeah, 100%. But looking at Man United, they're conceding goals. They just conceded two goals to Southampton there. Another pacey team probably did them on a counter-attack at least once. I can't remember exactly how the goals were scored. I don't have the notes in front of me right now. But West Ham could very easily sit a little deep and counter the shit out of United and cause some trouble.
Yeah, for sure. But where are those points going to come from? To predict them, I think you'd literally have to be Nostradamus, which I kind of are.
How you feeling about okay, Nostradamus? Antonio, how do you feel about him getting the points?
If he starts, I feel like he's in there, like a higher percentage than Bowen and Fornals and
me too.
whoever else.
That's
is in
exactly
there.
how I feel. I feel like he gives that team so much. It gives everyone else space, and you've noticed him being gone. So it will be interesting to see him back and fully fit, playing a full 90. We'll see where he gets to because he's still got a little 75% on him. Now, Man United won 3-2 against Southampton.
Comeback.
Yeah, big comeback. And all provided by, well, not all, but pretty much all provided by Cavani.
Yeah.
I wonder how many teams he's in.
Beast mode.
Because I was sitting there going, you've had to hang on to him for a little while if you picked him up.
Yeah.
Have you kept him as your third striker, hoping that this might happen? But, he's coming off the bench still and doing this. But what do you guys think?
Well, I don't think he'll be coming off the bench for long, especially with Rashford and Martial not really living up to their price tags. So
Yeah.
and
Unless he gets a cheeky little ban for his social posts.
what happened?
He used the same phrase that Suarez used years ago.
Oh,
So potential.
wow! Is he a biter as well?
We'll see. He's had the best teacher, so we don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So potentially could get a ban, but that's stuff that's really speculative and hard to tell at this stage. But based off just the football, game changer. So much class.
Yeah.
What they need and what they thought they would have got previously with the likes of Falcao and some of their big hitters.
Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get that from Ibrahimovic.
A little bit, yeah.
bit, yeah.
But I think Cavani's got more. They need it, and they need the Ibra now.
more than
they need
Ibra.
they need the Ibra of now, not the Ibra of 2 years ago when they had him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Cavani, you just saw that with his instincts for the pass into Bruno,
Yeah.
as well as those two headers. Like, I don't know how the fuck he scored that first header.
I know.
Like, deflected shot.
I know.
that's just luck that
he just reacted quickly.
It was insane.
I think he just saw it there and got it. And then
Experience.
And then the last one was such a finesse touch off his head. You're just like, fuck me.
I thought he'd dove for it, and then he just kept running. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he didn't actually.
It was like he scooped it. Didn't
Yeah.
he? He was just watching
Those
it and then
locks
he just
just-
scooped
It was coming at him quick.
Yeah, little chip shot.
That was insane.
So I guess then I'll ask a similar question to before. Who would you compare him to in terms of strikers right now? Because that is a tough one because he's still coming off the bench.
Yeah, it is a very tough one. And when I'm kind of looking at it, how are we feeling about it is a tough one. But I think he's way better than Lacazette. I think he's crushing Firmino, for example.
Yep.
And yeah, I would probably rate him, if he does keep a bit of form, somewhere like a Bamford. If he plays.
Bamford. If he plays.
Yeah.
Starts, you mean?
If he starts. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
But he's even got that factor of like, even he just continues to come off the bench at 60 minutes.
Yeah.
I would be confident that he'd get a goal.
Yeah, all right.
He's almost got that level of someone you'd bank off the bench. So from a really high scoring team. So yeah, I'd rate him quite good. Obviously, it's only one game, so people would be jumping on him. If you've got someone who's done nothing for ages, I wouldn't be questioning it because you got to do something.
Yeah. Now, Fernandez has got double-digit points again. What a surprise. He's like clockwork, isn't he?
Mate, he's insane.
And he scored from open play. Look at that.
Crazy.
I know he has to like
Pretty
do one
happy.
every now and again just to
Yeah,
keep
just to mix
the
things up.
haters away.
Yeah,
But
get rid of those fucking
Keep the
haters.
trolls
I
off.
saw something that was his stats for like all his away games played in fantasy, and he's just basically not got less than 6 points away from home.
Love it.
It's insane.
I'm a stats man, as you guys know.
He's honestly creeping up there to be like a top
Oh,
first round pick, 100%.
oh yeah, definitely.
It's now becoming ridiculous that it's
super consistent in
Even
a
though-
team that's not getting that many
yeah,
points.
and he's not like a Salah or Mane who's a winger but still
Yeah.
a mid. It's number 10.
it's definitely impressive.
ridiculous.
He's got great finishing. He's on pens, and there's so many pens this season. And who gets more pens than anyone? Manchester
Man U,
United.
yeah.
Okay, so Heato. Oh no, wait.
Yeah,
Who's-
it's me.
Oh, it is you.
Yeah.
Heato, predict this result. Oh, we didn't run through the top point scorers. I'll quickly
do that
say
quickly.
Bowen got 13 points, 3 bonus points. Huge. If you picked that one, it wouldn't have been from our advice last week. That's for sure. Sorry, everyone. Ogbonna, 9 points, 1 bonus point. I'd still be impressed there if you had him. Cavani or Cavani, as someone's written here. Cavani. 15 fucking points, 3 bonus points off the
Huge.
bench. Huge. Fernandez with a very consistent 10 points, double-digit haul again.
Huge.
Now, prediction for this, West Ham versus Man United. I'm seeing a similar result to Southampton for me.
Man, it's hard because Man U do have that in them where they'll play well and then they'll flip and just be really shit. So it's a hard one. I'm gonna go. I'm backing up my predictions, but West Ham 2, Man United 2.
Okay.
I like that. Honestly, I think that
I do.
West Ham's capable of scoring the goals, so is United, and they're both capable of conceding them. So
Yeah, it's a hard one to pick, boys.
I'd say that West Ham's probably more solid than United, but in terms of defense. Now, Chelsea versus Leeds is our next one. A rare thing that we don't have much to talk about in terms of Chelsea scoring any goals.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I'm a little disappointed because I think we were the better team.
Especially in the second half.
Yeah, I just thought we dominated like a lot of the chances.
Yeah.
They obviously came out wanting to be very defensive and solid, and which they did a good job of.
Yeah.
I thought they made it super hard for us, and we made it pretty hard for them.
yeah,
So,
you were a bit restricted.
yeah, it was a good game, I think, for defense. Now that fucking finish from Werner, curling it in there just offside. Oh my god, I love that finish.
Yeah,
I did jump out of bed when that happened, and then I had to sit down with my
you love
tail
to see that
between
just
my
come
legs.
rocketing off the post, inside post, don't you? It's such a good.
I was watching the game with my dad and my bro, and we were just like, yes, all three of us up, and then the flag, and we're like,
Yeah,
and it was hard to see from open play when they played it, like just
It looked
watching the game.
fine,
It
yeah.
looked fine, but it was obviously offside once you see it. But sometimes you just can't see.
yeah.
Anyway, that was disappointing. And Mount had some good chances too from range.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a little bit more involved this week. A couple of, I guess you have to long range shots. So when you got someone sitting really defensive, it kind of forces that play for sure. But they were quite good attempts, especially the second one that forced a ridiculous save.
Yeah, from Lloris. We were just sitting there going, fuck off, Lloris. That's ridiculous, that save. But Mount's one of those players that does step up in big games. In terms of a fantasy prospect, he doesn't sit too high for me. I love him as a player. He works his ass off and he has some shots. I think he's, a bit too deep this season, maybe to return the same kind of points that he did last year, but he's only going to make the players around him better. And yeah, for me, it was unlucky for Chelsea not really to get a goal in that game because they definitely created more chances.
I actually disagree. Like, I think Mount is an amazing pickup because I think he's really consistent. I think Frank is building him into himself. And I honestly think that, like, I would want to trade for Mount. And I've been trying to come up with something. I know Heato is actually the Mount owner. And
Are we getting a second transfer offer on the pod for the first time ever?
yeah, but it's just tough. It's just tough. I've been looking at so many different things, and I want to get him because I wanted to draft him, and he got kind of taken out of my arms. But yeah, look, maybe next year if I don't get him this year. But I would be looking at Mount to continue to push and get in the fantasy points.
Okay. I get that. Now, I think we should move on because there's not much fantasy points there to Leeds. They played Everton and won, to our surprise. We thought they'd get a goal, but we didn't think they'd win it. Heato, what'd you think?
It was a spicy game. It was just all Leeds. It was crazy. It was the Leeds that we've come to know earlier in the season. They've dipped away a little bit the last few weeks. But it was just chance after chance. It was crazy.
I think we always said that it was bound to happen, that they'd be up and down and all over the place, that's kind of what it is, you know.
I'm surprised it ended up only being one.
Yeah, it should have been about 4-5-0.
It was really
as we
impressive.
said before, the little T-Rex got in there with his short arms and seemed to stop him.
Yeah, kept him out.
To Heato's amazement. Oh, he was probably sitting there going, oh.
I wanted to be mad.
What the hell?
I wanted to be mad, but I had to respect the game, so...
it was who got the goal? Oh, Rafinha. He rocketed that one in. That was a nice finish.
Yeah, just Pickford's arms aren't long enough for that one.
No,
unfortunately.
it was mainly that. You know, it was that classic thing that like he went for a save and like as a T-Rex they can't get up because they got those short little arms. So he was still down trying to get up. I don't think that's what happened. That's all fiction to anyone listening. That's all fiction. But I hope it created a nice little image in your minds.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about Chelsea versus Leeds, I really back Chelsea here. I think after a 0-0 result, they're going to come out firing. I think they're going to actually come out of the Chelsea-Tottenham game with more confidence.
For sure, because Tottenham's defence, which we'll talk about later, is very, very good. But I think this is the perfect team for Chelsea just to continue on. Because Leeds aren't going to just sit there like Tottenham. They're going to play.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's just great for Chelsea.
Yeah, because we score goals. But we do concede goals, but not lately, thank fuck.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I'm curious to see from an outsider of how can they get at you defense-wise, because they looked insane. Like so many chances, players looking really sharp, like Harrison, a shout out there. He's the Harrison we saw early on.
Yeah, quite a few chances. Has to be a bit clinical.
But still, I like the look of him.
Okay, so I'll run through the top point scorers before we get too deep in this one. Now, Chilwell got 8 points, Chile, and he got 2 bonus, and the rest of the defenders got a clean sheet, standard there. Meslier with 11 points, 3 bonus points for Leeds. Pretty well deserved, in my opinion. There was a pretty awesome set of saves from him early on.
Yeah, definitely.
To keep it the score what it was. Raphinha got 9 points, 2 bonus points. Nice finish from him. Dallas with 8, 2 bonus points. Is it just me or is he in form? Like I feel like his name comes up so much.
Well, he was the one that had a couple of shots last week, but couldn't put them on target. So, yeah, they're very involved. They're wing backs for sure.
Yeah, okay. And then obviously a bunch of clean sheets for their defenders. Now, who's predicting this one? Is it me?
No, it's me.
Oh, it's
actually.
you?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, it's you, Marlo.
Yeah, I've been giving this a lot of thought during the week, and I think it's going to be Chelsea 3, Leeds 1.
I like that
Yeah.
because Chelsea win. But I think it'll be a clean sheet.
I think it'll be a good game, though. I'm really excited to watch that game.
Me too. Me too.
It's going to be exciting.
Now, next fixture, West Brom versus Crystal Palace. This is a hard one to predict. Not a lot to talk about here from either of these teams other than a surprising win for West Brom. Poor touch from Grant for his early chance.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was so
I know.
shit.
That was pretty-
Just knocks it ahead with his knee. That was terrible.
And then Chelsea Loney got the goal for West Brom. Conor Gallagher, he's really raised that team up, hasn't he? Can't wait to get him back.
What a hilarious goal.
I know.
I just thought, like, for that to be the goal that finally gets them their win after all the chances throughout the game created, just this kind of scruffy edge of the box ball that trickles through everyone and puts itself in the corner.
It's fucking typical.
Hilarious.
So other than that, really, there were a few chances from Pereira, but it was a quiet second half. One of the big highlights being Klopp's comments against Wilder.
Oh yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, I can tell you about that when we get to Sheffield. It's quite a funny story.
We'll move on to that then later. Now for Crystal Palace, they lost 2-0. I think really the main thing is that without Zaha, they can't get a win.
One-man team, baby.
I know.
One-man team.
The COVID has really fucking struck Crystal Palace by taking out their talisman. Yeah.
Yeah, they just can't do anything without him. Like, as we were talking about
I get why.
Villa before.
I get why. He's huge for them. Like, he would draw so much pressure and make it easier for those other players around him to get in there and get attacking. Like, and Townsend's actually been, getting some good points this season. It's hard when someone like that's out of a team like that.
Yeah, it just shows you how much, in terms of fantasy, it relies on that one guy to give it a bit of spark to maybe even get an assist somewhere. So the fact that you're relying on one creator, one scorer, makes not the best case for having anyone else from that team as much as you thought they might have been.
Yeah, nice. Well, I think just to get a fresh voice on this one, because Miles has been pretty quiet. Top point scorers, Miles.
Yeah, so
run us through it.
Yeah, West Brom. Johnston had 11 points, 3 bonus points. Gallagher, shout out to Chelsea Loney, got 10 points, 2 bonus points, and the rest of the West Brom defence got 6 points. And from Palace, they got nothing, just participation points.
I wish the site would rename it to, instead of just like, points for played, it just like, it specifically says participation points.
Yeah, they participated.
And like a half participation if you came off before you hit 60 mins.
A half participation.
Half participation point.
All right, let's predict this one.
Yes, you, mate. Have fun.
Well, the real question is Zaha back?
It's got fucking nil all written.
Must
all
be
over
close.
It. He will be for COVID.
I think
this is his second week he's missed for COVID.
Yeah,
so.
but who knows? Like Dybala, when it first all went down, had like fucking 6 weeks.
That's true.
Yeah, but he's in England. They don't really worry about the 2-week quarantine thing. They just
They don't have that strong strain.
As long as the pubs are closed at 10 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. West Brom 0, Crystal Palace 2.
Wow.
Hat trick for Zaha.
How can he get
One
a
Don't worry, I know how contradicting that is. One disallowed. You got to go for that these weeks.
It'll be his hat trick, and then VAR will rule it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now for our next fixture, Sheffield versus Leffield. That's a new team.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Leffield?
Well, that's where the performance has been a
I think
little
it's
bit.
a producer
left
that
of
makes
field.
banging dubstep.
Leffield. Sheffield versus Leicester. God, I nearly said it again. Pretty interesting result there from Sheffield. I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect from two bottom of the table teams, West Brom and Sheffield.
Yeah, man. Sheffield, I think they had 22 attempts or something. It was insane.
Yeah. The ending, there was 5 in the last 7 minminutes alone or something.
I don't know how I didn't put one in.
Brewster at the end.
Yeah, I think it's actually... I've heard an interesting point on Brewster. You know how we were talking earlier in the season about, that might be interesting because he's had a little hype about him, about being a youngster coming in, could skyrocket. Now on reflection, and a few people are talking about it, saying the fact that they went and spent 25 mil on essentially an unproven player, I think it just kind of sums them up and puts them in the position they're in. How much did Aston Villa get Watkins for?
Yeah, not much.
Probably, and he's a proven goal scorer, at least in the championship.
And he's done well so far, yeah.
That's what they needed. And people we've shouted out like McBurney and stuff, just missing golden chances. clean shot from pretty much the edge of the box,
Yeah.
straight at the keeper. Just, it was insane. I can't believe how many chances they threw away.
Heato, tell us about Klopp's comments. You made us wait. Now I want to know.
I just thought it was funny because I don't know if you guys saw after the Liverpool game, Klopp had a rager and a bit of a debate with the interviewer from BT Sport.
I did see it because you sent it to me. So.
That was helpful. I haven't watched it yet, so I should have done my research, but I'll let you boys talk about it.
It's just funny. He's basically just raging about the fixtures and the schedules and saying the broadcasters to blame. And
How does Wilder fit into it?
so there was a vote for about the 5 subs to increase it, and Chris Wilder was one of the people to say no. And I think they need a certain number for it to go through, like 14 or 15 clubs. But
Are there even 5 people on Sheffield's bench? Worth playing? No wonder
that's
he
probably
didn't
why
care.
they don't want to put 5. There's not 5 good enough players to sub on. They'd have to put a sub goalkeeper on. But Klopp had he was obviously in the mood and had a little rage, and he's like saying about how they didn't get enough numbers to vote for the 5 subs. And Chris Wilder is like, oh, well, they've got their 3 subs and 1 point, so. Ripped. That's so funny.
Wrecked.
I know. It's so good.
Speaking of wrecked, Fulham. They beat Leicester, or Leffield, as I like to call them. That's pretty riggedy wrecked.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? I mean, we did talk about it, but Leicester just lacking defense mainly and attack.
It's just their own undoing, really. It's what they're usually really good at, defending, especially on counters. And I just think that they didn't think that Fulham had it in them to score those 2 goals like that. So I think they gave them a little bit too. They didn't give them enough respect.
Maybe they gave them the pen so that they could lose some confidence because they know they would miss it. But they actually scored it and they're like, oh, fuck.
Now, that's a theory. I want everyone to know that's a theory. That's a Heato theory, not mine.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. Brendan Rodgers, you don't know what he's coming up with.
But we're waiting on Diggy to come. Oh, no, not Diggy. Jesus, I'm thinking of a different team here. I'm thinking
Blue.
of Castagna.
Yeah.
I know. Castagna and Barrera.
Yeah.
There's a lot of injured left backs and right backs because they do so much fucking running in this league.
I actually took a punt on Pereira.
I was just about to bring
Yeah.
up the same thing, and I was going to talk to the podcast about strategy and picking up players and looking at future injuries, and then players that people might sleep on because they've been injured for so long, and just you should always be keeping your watch list up to date and checking on when these players are coming back, because Hito's done an awesome thing in picking up Pereira a week or 2 before he comes back. And you're not in that hustle and bustle with the waiver wire of trying to pick them up.
No, it's a huge part of draft. It's you've got to be on top of players coming back from injuries, especially big ones, because if they've been out for 3 months, no one's going to keep them for that long. Unless there's someone crazy, but you'd still be pretty insane to do that.
It's just that short-term pain for hopefully
and you take a punt, especially if you can just spare your 5th defender, which obviously you can.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say, if this is your first or 2nd year in playing draft, put a watch list on saying someone like Digne, all right?
Yeah.
Because whoever has him is most likely going to drop him. He's out for 2 months. It's too much of a risk to leave that out for that long unless you're stacked in the defense, which you probably aren't. So put a watch list if someone drops him, and then just try and pick him up start of January, middle of January, because you're going to have Diggy.
I set a reminder on my phone.
Yeah, do it.
I just go, hey Siri, remind me on this date that Diggy will be coming back in 3 weeks. And then I'm keeping an eye on it.
So then when it comes in and it's like autocorrect Diggy to something else, you're like, what the fuck is this reminder?
Siggy. Oh, look. She's just done it. She's done it. She's efficient. She's just taken some reminder. No idea.
To pick up Siggy?
I think so. I guess I think I'm picking up Diggy or Siggy. I don't know. Or Siggy Butts.
We'll find out in 2 months' time.
Excuse me.
Maybe Biggie.
Okay, so we should really get through the top point scorers here. Sheffield, nothing. We love saying that. Leicester, Barnes with 6, Harvey with 5.
Yeah.
Harvey. You mean Vardy?
Vardy.
Ain't nothing but a Vardy party.
I've misread that. Thank you for my dyslexic brain.
But that was a good finish from Barnes. I don't know how he...
It was
really
good. He pulled that out. He pulled that one out.
I don't know how he got that through, so...
Now we'll get a prediction here from Tom Heaton, our resident predictor.
It's hard, man, based off...
Oh, it's not that
Leicester's
hard.
form.
It's not that hard.
I think it might be Sheffield 1, Leicester 1.
Wow.
Gee.
I'm going draws all week this week, boys.
Yeah, geez, you're boring.
I know.
I like to say
I'm just getting shit games. I don't know how you picked that one up. So
All right, so Tottenham versus Arsenal is our next fixture here. This used to be an interesting one. I mean, Miles, you'd be
North
disappointed that it isn't anymore. Two of your favourite teams.
Thanks for that.
No worries. Chelsea played Tottenham, as we talked about before. It was 0 or draw. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Look, if Tottenham can keep Chelsea out, I think that I would just jump on any Tottenham defender that's playing. If there are any spare ones, which there shouldn't be, but there might be, jump on them, or even just try and do a little cheeky trade.
Cheeky trade.
Yeah.
is that for goals, or are you thinking clean sheet because of Arsenal can't score?
No, I'm talking clean sheets for the future.
Yeah.
For this fixture, because Arsenal, they scored one lucky goal, whatever. I don't
Can
think
I
that's
say?
gonna happen.
Can I say something about that clean sheet thing?
Yeah.
I went for two teams to pick for clean sheets this season when I drafted. I picked City, which was obviously wrong. And my second team that I was like, they're going to get clean sheets, defenders are going to be worth points, was Tottenham.
Yeah.
And
You
I
did
had,
double,
I
didn't you?
did. I got rid of one of them in a trade because I just was too committed to two teams. Unfortunately, it was Alderweireld, who I think just got a goal this week. Oh, no, was that the week before?
The week before, yeah.
And then you had Dyer on your bench this week, but
He came in. He came in.
I did. Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah, mate. I knew he would. I didn't have to make any changes because there's so many injuries. I was like, oh, fuck it.
Mate, that's
I don't
my
need to do
team
shit.
right now.
But anyway, yeah, so Dyer I do still have. And I do agree. I think Tottenham's defense, like Mourinho, has lit a fire under them, and it's going to be very important to that team to keep clean sheets.
I think the hard thing is there's a bit of rotation at right back. Playing this week instead of Doherty. So
Yeah. I think that
it's a
was
bit
an
of a
injury
hard-
thing,
hard-
though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little niggle.
Little niggle.
That's why I left him on the bench, yeah.
Okay.
Looks like he's
Yeah.
back this week, though, so...
Okay, that'll be interesting because, I think Son and Kane were completely nullified this week. That hardly anything from them.
I remember
They
one
really struggled.
specific chance, or one specific time, but it will happen a lot throughout the game that, as soon as one of them got the ball, Chelsea players were all over them. Kane, literally received the ball on halfway and was just surrounded. We didn't really say it because he's not usually a fantasy prospect, but Kante had the most ridiculous fucking game in that game. And he was the dude that basically stopped everything and made it very hard for Tottenham. I mean, not every team has a Kante, but
That's what you have to do. The amount of times Kane drops back into mid to play those assists.
Yeah.
If you've got someone in mid that's going to nip at his heels and not give him that time, people have been too open against.
who better than the old Kante?
Yeah, little Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Man, I was looking at
bulldog.
him and just frothing.
He's amazing.
He's
I really
back to
hope he
his
stays.
best. I know, me too. Anyway, back to Tottenham. Bergwijn looking sharp. He's started last two games, I believe. Maybe someone to keep an eye on. He's not
Bale.
really got more fantasy points. He's obviously competing with Bale there, so you'd be taking a risk in picking him up. But he did look pretty sharp for me.
Me too.
Now, Arsenal is the other side of this fixture. They lost to Wolves.
They finally scored a goal, lads.
Yeah, they did.
They got a goal.
Yeah.
Remember when Miles was right at the start of the season? I think Arsenal won two games, and Miles was like, I just can't wait for Arsenal Fan TV when they start losing. And
Yeah.
look at them now. They've been shit for so long.
It's actually semi-painful watching Arsenal Fan TV because they're so bad and they're I hate watching them, and now it's just...
Are you just glued to it? You can't help yourself.
Nah, I've stopped watching now
train.
because it's too much. I get too much pleasure from their downfall, and I try to jump off it for a bit. But it was kind of just a goal of Willian crossing it into Gabriel. Gabriel was free, scored the header.
Nothing special there.
And Aubameyang, he had two chances. I know that the Wolves defender, I think it was Cody, got the ball away from him at
That was
the
a
end.
good- yeah.
Very good defending. But he just doesn't seem as eager. I thought like last season, even, he would try get in front and it's kind of just,
It's like, I've got my new contract.
Yeah, he's
I'm
done.
getting paid, bitches.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
coasting
chill the
maybe.
fuck out. But they're in 14th, boys, on the table.
It's great, isn't it?
I love it.
Look,
Crazy.
I don't think we've got any Arsenal fans tuning in, so we don't really need to worry about them.
Sorry
no,
if you
no.
are.
I mean,
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and if
We just, we like to joy in the failures.
of the competitive teams, just
Yeah.
like we enjoy Heato's values with Liverpool. Brighton drew with Liverpool this week. I don't know if anyone remembers.
To get that next one.
Now, top point scorers for this game: Lloris with 10 points, 3 bonus points against Chelsea. Well deserved. He made a cracking save in that game, as we talked about, and the defense got 6 points. Pretty standard stuff there. Arsenal, Gabriel got the goal, 8 points, and William with the assist. He got 5. For me. Now it's Miles predicting this one.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little think about this one, but I think Tottenham are going to get back to their ways, but I think Arsenal will show up because it's usually a pretty decent derby. So I'm going to say like 3-1 to Arsenal, but they're going to be
To Arsenal.
Sorry, to Tottenham.
Whoa. I was like, that's some controversial
Like, mate, they haven't scored 3 goals all season, let alone in one game.
Sorry. I was just typing at the same time. But I'm going to say that it's going to be 2 late goals from Tottenham.
Okay.
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 Now,
that
Liverpool
down.
versus Wolves is our next fixture here. Brighton played Liverpool. Oh, we get to come back to this again. They drew with Liverpool, 1-1.
Yeah.
So, Heato, what are your thoughts?
Wasn't the best game. Pretty poor from Liverpool. They definitely struggled a bit more, unlike last week. I think, to be honest, a big factor was that James Milner wasn't right back, like against Leicester. He was in the midfield this week, and we had a youngster playing at right back, Nico Williams, who definitely fucked up in terms of the original pen that was awarded to Brighton. Really dumb challenge, and yeah, fortunately, we haven't mentioned it much this pod, but there's definitely been a lot of VAR issues this game week, not just for Liverpool. A lot of other teams getting kind of done by the ridiculous hair or toenail that's caught someone offside. And
Offside's offside is all I have to say.
man, for me, it's just ridiculous. It's so small a fraction. Like, I don't know how they can tell it's actually offside.
I'll
with
back
the
you on
frame
that
rate
one.
of the cameras.
That Salah one was horrendous, in my opinion.
I do agree.
Like, I don't think what they're showing us on the screen is good enough technology to prove that was not that was offside.
And it's like, if they've got a toe, like, I know it's a black and white thing, but it's like, where's the advantage?
yeah,
I don't know if you guys have heard about in the Eredivisie, Dutch league, how they give like a bigger margin. And yeah, that sounds so much better. But unfortunately, Salah missing out on a goal with that.
And what have they been doing for the last 90 years since the creation of football? Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to say, oh, sorry, that was offside, your toe was offline. I think you got to give the benefit of the doubt of the attacking
attacker.
team.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest.
also the time it takes for the offside to be ruled.
Kills the game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. It happened to, Villa.
Yeah.
Watkins getting an equaliser right at the end. And
Well, to talk about that, I mean, obviously there are goals being missed out on because of them being ruled offside, but there's so many more penalties being given. So to put that in fantasy perspective, like, it does create value in different places. Whereas pen takers were always valued, but now
Yeah, through the roof.
through the roof.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Fernandez, like he's the third highest one. And like
Yeah.
if they weren't getting as many pens as they are, and which a lot of them are through VAR, he probably wouldn't be as valuable as he is. So you do have to value people in those positions.
Yeah,
Might
definitely.
get more opportunities. Even Ward Prowse or someone like that takes free kicks.
Yeah, I guess it's just the new era of football that we've got to get used to.
Yes. So just run us through a quick version of the remaining highlights there, Heat.
just to cover off, obviously Jota again in the goals.
Yeah.
Just insane. So much form there. Probably one of the most informed players in the league right now.
For sure.
Like, points.
I just love the way he says it. Like he just says it as a proud Liverpool supporter.
Yeah, because I'm like, come on, mate. Give me your argument against.
I don't have one.
I know you got none.
But I love hearing your voice.
He's amazing. You know, his last 5 games, he's gone like 9-8-2-9-9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just so strong from especially a midfielder that would have been picked up kind of after the fact.
I know. And he's up against his boys this week, his old boys.
Yeah,
Wolves.
I was going to bring that up. I think Wolves would really, really want him now, especially with the Jimenez injury. Let's just move on to Wolves.
Brutal.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
head
you could
injury.
hear it. It was fucked.
Yeah, you don't
He's
like
got a
to see
fractured
that.
skull.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that puts a player out for, but you know, hopefully he's all right.
You can imagine
Like,
a head injury, like you just don't want to be.
Yeah, because they got a
You don't wanna
head and
risk
stuff
that.
like yeah.
No, 100%. They're like that's permanent damage, regardless of what happened. It's permanent damage. So hopefully he's okay. But yeah, that sound was terrible.
Yeah, brutal.
And it had to be David Luiz.
Oh, I know.
It had to be him.
Surely his hair would have cushioned.
That's
some
what
of
I
the
was
blow.
thinking. Shit. Maybe it did a little, but not enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was pretty rough. Now, in that game, Traore, it looked like was actually playing up front
Yeah.
with him.
Beast mode, man. He was on fire.
He was up for it. And that is an interesting, I mean, to talk about that injury, I feel like he's going to work his way into the squad. I don't know who's going to be playing as the forward. It'll be interesting to see who gets it because they've got that youngster
Silva.
Silva.
Gabriel Silva,
Yeah, Gabriel
yeah.
Silva. Thank you. Who's, you know, he's pretty highly rated, but he's young. And then they've got Traore, who's pretty proven. And then they've got those wingers that maybe could fill in that striker role.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting to see who takes it. But for me, Traore is definitely one to watch.
100%.
Like,
I think people would be jumping on him now after that game.
Yeah.
I think people would be pulling the trigger.
he looked great.
People might have held him for this long, but he's insane. The work he did for that, the assist for the cross in for that first goal, blasting past Tierney.
Yeah, good feet.
The way he turned on halfway and got
Yeah.
fouled, but somehow got a ball away for Neto to run away for the second.
He's so strong.
And he could have made it 3 as well. Like, it's just...
Look, to be honest, if you're playing like a traditional, 6 to 8 man league or something like that, I don't think whoever drafted Traore has held on to him because how could you? He hasn't had any attacking points.
No.
And he hasn't been starting. And he hasn't even been playing a lot of like coming on off the bench.
And I think that's why we're saying he's one to watch. Like, I mean, I'd say people are probably pulling trigger on him now that they see that injury, and that's a specific
That would definitely
situation.
expedite the...
I would
the
assume that he would go in the top 3 waiver wires of this week all over the shop.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Well, he's in mine. Anyway, moving on. Top point scorers: Liverpool, Jota 9, 2 bonus points. Salah 6 points. Wolves, Neto got 13 points, 3 bonus points. Podence with 9. Dendonka 5. Dendonka is still getting in areas that get him points.
He's so close, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close to getting points.
So yeah, and we've already discussed our ones to watch. That's Traore really, and whoever may fill in for Jimenez. Now a prediction here, I believe, is me. Ooh, oh no, is it?
Yeah, it's you, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Whitey.
Oh yeah, Miles, you predicted the last one. Stop trying to predict them all, mate. Jesus.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Liverpool versus Wolves. Liverpool 1. Wolves 1. Another draw. Yeah, I'm going with Miles.
That was 1-1 if you didn't hear because my little bitch friend over there is whispering.
Hey, I'm your bitch.
Is this mic on?
Okay, Heato's got a weird
I was
accent.
really hoping that you would say Wolves 2. I really, really want a big
I kind of
upset.
wanted to.
You should have. Change it.
No, I can't.
Change it.
No, I
Predict
can't.
it.
It's what I felt in the moment. Brighton versus Southampton is our final game for this week. Now, Brighton, oh my God, we get to talk about it again.
How good.
Brighton
Dude.
drew 1-1 with Liverpool.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
He's like, I'm not fucking talking about this fixture.
Yeah, he's like, well, moving on.
I'll give you guys a chance to talk.
No. Look,
Oh, thanks.
Look, like, I will give it to you. I think Brighton got gifted the game because I don't even think that pen that Andy Robertson put on who was it?
Welbeck.
Welbeck.
Yeah.
was a pen. I think that's ridiculous. but it was a pen nonetheless. Let's move on. They drew the game 1-1 if you didn't realise that, Heato.
Thanks, mate.
But I thought Connolly is looking good.
Yeah, he was pissed when he got taken off.
Yeah.
Because he was getting in behind. We've called him a bulldog before.
Yeah.
And he's got some serious pace on him. He was doing really well. And I think against Southampton, who have been a bit defensively weak.
Yeah. Do you think he's a pickup?
I think he would be against this fixture. For Southampton, they've been a bit shaky lately at the back. So
Yeah.
I'd potentially back him.
And look,
for that.
they've got Southampton, Leicester, then Fulham. And Leicester haven't been that amazing. So I would kind of back him for the next few games.
Yeah,
He
I
could
think
be
so.
someone to bring in.
It'd be definitely an underdog. Wouldn't have been picked up probably. I think it's a very much a possibility he could carry on. But yeah, I don't know. Well, if, someone's got to step up and score goals because Morpay can't.
Just take it easy. All right. Now, don't get too excited about Connolly because, okay, game week 4 was the last time he started before this week. He's played literally 16 minutes before this week and played 62 minutes this week, got 2 points. Like, he's done fuck all. He's on 20 points. He's got 1 goal.
Okay. But, he's...
Just before you get too excited on him.
No, but that's what
That's
it's all
fair,
about, man.
that's fair.
We're thinking, bigger leagues where there's not as much flexibility. You have to scratch at kind of any opportunity. It might be just even an eye. Put an eye on it.
I know, but I need to put it out there for the...
No, exactly.
people.
The
For
people,
sure.
if you haven't seen the stats, they're not backing it up yet. We're just calling it from this game.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
So-
We'll see, but yeah.
So the points came from Gross in this game. Pascal Gross.
Yeah, you got the pen.
He got that pen. 10 points there, 3 bonus points for him.
How many did Morpay get this week, mate?
-1.
You got to drop him, mate.
I know, but there's nothing
Dude,
out there. I
Missed
looked.
10 and then gets injured, quotation marks,
I
injured.
know.
I reckon he's just embarrassed and
He's so flippant.
ego had to
He
walk
is
himself
like
off.
on fire, then he's shit. Then he's on fire, then he's shit. I don't want to ride that roller coaster again. I had him last season. Somehow I ended up with him this season. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell to me. And now I'm done.
Jump off him, mate.
I'm jumping off, but I don't know where
Sack
to
him
jump.
off.
I don't know where to jump.
Look, let's talk about Southampton. All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's just wrap it up because I've been dying to talk to you about James Ward-Prowse.
Why me?
Well, because you dropped him.
I know I dropped him, but
How can you drop such a fierce free kicker?
I know, but he was definitely my 5th mid. Or maybe not my 5th mid after Foden because Foden's dropped off a bit. But I'm just bringing up his points here.
Who did you drop for him though?
Well, it's basically been like a week or two
I
since
picked up
he...
Fornals.
Wow.
So
So
I was just trying to create some rotation like in the squad. I didn't think I saw that he scored big points in his game. Like most of his points have come from one game. Like I just got lucky was my opinion when I got him
Sure.
the first time, right? He's had another cracker, which I was not expecting. He had a Man United fixture, which I don't know. You don't know what to predict with them. But I've got his points here now.
itchy trigger finger, I reckon.
Look, probably the game week before I picked him up, he got 11 points. Then I picked him up, he got 17 points. And I was like, okay, lightning struck twice in the same place twice.
I told you that this is his season though, and
You said that, but you guys talk shit about me. If we go back to this when we talked about him, you guys talk shit about my
No.
Ward-Prowse. Anyway, look, he got 3 points. He got
Would
3, 2, and
never
now he's
do
got
that.
11. All right, and he's done another
It
fucking
is-
golf swing celebration just to rub it in.
How good was it?
It is hard, but when someone's just like a free kick,
I know that's his
specialist,
only like.
it's hard to predict how many they're going to score and how many corners are
Yeah.
With
points from.
Southampton playing so well, being almost at the top of the league, Ingsy's out, so that's like a goal scorer that you don't need to worry about. And someone's got to step up. I mean, it was definitely going to be James Ward-Prowse. So, look, let's wrap up the top point scorers and get a prediction.
Okay, so Brighton had Gross with 3 bonus points, as we said before. Welbeck with 5. points again in the points for him. Southampton, Ward-Prowse, 11, 2 bonus points. Bednarek with 8 with a nice header in that game.
Yeah, it was.
And Gineppo with 5 points. It wasn't the best performance that we've seen from Southampton, but they were bound to lose a game here and there.
Yeah, and we've got Ings coming back now. He's 50%, so
So
a week or two.
that gives them a lot.
And that's going to change things if people haven't held on to him. I'd be dumb if someone dropped him, but
And 2 late Cavani miracle goals. I wouldn't take it away from Southampton because I think they kind of stole the game at away from them at the end.
yeah.
And just when we're going through those top point scorers, Bednarek, I think he's definitely one to watch.
Yeah,
Way to watch, people.
they've got some good
You heard it here
centre-backs,
first.
for sure.
Okay, our final prediction for this week is Heato. Hit us up.
I'm going to go Brighton 1, Southampton 3.
I like that. That's
I
good.
really like that, actually.
Okay, let's move on to our game. Straight into it. Kings and Peasants. We play this every week. It's a game where we choose a king and a peasant. A king being one of the top half players of the league, basically, top point scorers, and a peasant being more of an outside chance, maybe someone that's a bit unproven, and we kind of judge each other's picks. It's a bit of a flowing system and a voting system.
Yeah.
Now, I believe because I'm consistently terrible at this, that I'll be going first yet again.
We did poor last week, didn't we?
Well, yeah, no one did very well
Not
there.
many points all around.
I got, yeah, fuck me. I beat Miles last week, and I had DCL and Fornals. Woo, baby. Now, this week, I had... Who did I have in mind? I've just got my notes here. I'm going to go for Grealish as my king.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick against Newcastle.
And Johnston as...
Johnston.
Yeah, Johnston
I like it.
as my peasant.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it with this game, you've really got to take advantage of players, especially the peasants, when they've got a good fixture. And Johnston's been on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a good fixture. I'm interested to see how he goes because he's been amazing.
Yeah, I rate that. Yeah.
Okay, Heato.
I'm still just second. So I'm going to just have to jump on the form and the fixture. I'm going Mahrez as my king.
Yep.
Hat-trick guy, hat-trick hero after this week and against Fulham.
Yep. Like it.
The peasant's hard this week, boys. I'm struggling with the peasant a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm switching it up based off just what we've talked about. I'm going to go Regulum.
Regulon.
Regulon, like Tottenham defender.
Tottenham fullback.
I'll give it to you.
Is that a peasant?
I'll give it to him.
Whoa, you didn't give me anything like that. We just talked about how fucking good Tottenham's defense is, and now you're giving him as a
He's
peasant.
not a king, though.
Yeah.
Surely he's not
He's a
that
king defender.
Is he, though? Based off points.
I'll allow it because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Miles.
I would have voted with yes, so don't
Thanks,
worry.
mate.
You would have lost the vote
2 for
anyway.
one.
Okay, well, I'm going to go Jesus as my king, and I'm going to go Armstrong as my peasant.
Interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
Any particular reason for Armstrong?
I like the fixture. I think there'll be goals in this game. And, I just think Southampton, okay.
That's all right. That's your boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps us up for this week. Thanks again, lads. Heato, loved your
Yeah,
cheeses.
good one. Thanks,
just
boys.
for the viewers here, I've noticed that mainly the brie's gone. A little bit of that Edam is pretty finished, and the cream cheese is pretty much untouched.
Adam.
About half done. It wasn't too bad.